what's going on, guys? It's Chad here with Greenlight Shooting, and me and my cousin Brian here were talking the other day. He brought up a really interesting point. So he's claiming that the 3-inch 1911 is quite possibly the best concealed carry option money can buy. And I was like, I don't know, but I'm gonna give him a chance to defend himself. So
3-inch 1911.
where's yours, man?
3-inch 1911 is the best concealed carry gun that has ever been made in the history of firearms.
Okay.
All right, I can back this up. I know that's a bold statement. We almost got into a fist fight earlier, but here it is. First of all, reliability. You cannot beat the reliability of a 1911, any 1911. It's been around for over 100 years. The military is heavily invested in it, and the basic fundamental design of the 1911 has not changed in that amount of time, and there's a very good reason for it. The second thing is, when you get into the 1911, especially the compact 1911, and you get into concealed carry guns in general, the biggest problem you have is you start compromising the size of the gun for the stopping power that goes with it, right? When you started getting into very small guns, typically you're also getting into very small bullets as well.
Right.
So the great thing about the 1911 is you maintain the stopping power of the 45 ACP. Not only that, but you get 7+1 on the capacity. So this may be one of the only 45 caliber guns that you can actually conceal, where you can actually have 8 rounds of 45 on your hip at all times.
You can also have a full-size grip.
That's the other thing. Yeah, in fact, if you compare the size of this grip to the size of the grip on a full-size 1911, there's very little difference. Your whole hand fits around this thing.
Yeah.
And because it's a single stack, it's nice and thin. It conceals very nicely up against your body. So unlike a lot of 45s, this thing is nice and tight, very easy to conceal, and your hand actually fits around it. So you can actually shoot this safely.
Okay.
The other great thing about the size and the fact that it's a 1911 is the recoil spring on this is nice and stiff. What that means is, unlike a typical compact 45, this does not bite your wrist as you're shooting it. It's not as good as a full-size 5-inch 1911, but it's pretty darn good. So even a small girl can shoot this without feeling that sort of intense bite as that thing goes off.
Like that XDS 45, that's a polymer frame, and
you're just begging to get beat up when you shoot one of those, and you're just not going to have that here. The next thing is the trigger.
Okay.
There's not a person in the world who's going to argue that the trigger on the 1911 isn't the best in any handgun out there. Smooth, crisp break. In fact, if you see that, it's just about anywhere from 2 to 4, maybe 3.5 pounds of pressure, and it just breaks crisp and clean, which is really nice in a situation where when you want that gun to go off, it's going to go off.
Yeah.
Right? Night sights. Most 1911s have night sights. Phenomenal for all kinds of different conditions. And the best thing about the 1911 as a carry gun, it's safe. Lots of different options for how you can configure this. Round in the chamber, you can make it so that you actually have to rack the slide before it's carryable. Hammer back, there's a safety on the back, and there's also a switch safety on your kind of a standard switch safety as well. So you can actually carry this in whatever configuration you think is safest for your skill level, while still having the stopping power of a compact 45 with you. There are 2 downsides.
Okay, yep, let's see what you got.
2 downsides, and this, they're not small. The first one is the price. This particular gun is a Kimber Stainless Ultra TLE2.
Okay.
And with the laser grips on here, as configured here, you're, $1,200–1,300. So
you're paying for it.
You're paying for it. You get what you pay for, but this is not a budget carry gun, right?
Absolutely.
And the second problem is, downside to any 1911, they're just more difficult to maintain. And not only are they more difficult to maintain, but they have to be maintained. Unlike a Glock, where it's going to go bang every time you pull the trigger, if this isn't clean and wet, it's probably not going to be as reliable as some of the other polymer guns.
Gotcha. Well, there you have it. He makes a pretty dang good argument. I don't know, what do you guys think? Leave them in the comments below. Let me know what you think is the best carry gun of all time. We already know Brian's choice. But thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like the video, share the video. Let's see what kind of responses we can get out there. Subscribe to the channel. We've got a lot more good stuff coming. And if you haven't seen these other 2 videos, check them out. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time on Greenlight Shooting.
single stack. And what that means is if you look inside the magazine,